Today we're going to be talking all about Pokemon Legends ZA. We've got some new rumors from 4chan detailing the Pokemon map of Lumiose City, as well as a ton of information about the plot, the story, potential boss battles, as well as new Mega Evolutions, regional forms, legendary Pokemon. Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. My name is DustyGogoat, and today I'm with SoulSilverArt. Lumi's actually not with us today.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, how you doing? So we've got this rumor that popped up on 4chan. It's pretty hefty. There's a lot of information in here, but we're going to zoom in. So this was posted like 2 days ago, right?
I don't have to use my phone.
No, you don't have to use the phone. It's right here.
Read it right here.
What do you think this... So I actually... This is totally a sidebar, but I actually like to look at the reference images that are attached to these leaks. I feel like they're even if they're not Pokemon related, they're usually like a metaphor for maybe what it's all about. This is a basically an industrial building that has been overgrown by its environment, which is interesting because the plot, or we really don't know too much about the setting of Lumiose City in Legends ZA, but I think the big question in all of our minds is, like, what is the environment going to be, right? How are we going to capture Pokemon? Where are the Pokemon going to live if it's literally just a city that we're in? So anyway, I don't know if you have any thoughts right off the bat.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like that a lot. I think like who we are as people, that's what we do. We like look at these pictures and think that they're related to it.
Yeah.
And I think some like the fake leakers, whatever, that post these, sometimes like they put the images on purpose to like add to it.
Yeah.
But
this is like from
sometimes I feel like
something.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like it has nothing to do with it. Sometimes they just joke
Sure.
around and put something random, or I don't know. But
That's where I'm
very cool.
Yeah.
Idea as well.
Yeah.
If it's set in the future,
Well, I guess I just wanted to bring that up because that's where that's where my mind's going, and that's kind of setting the tone for the rest of this review, the rest of this rumor review. But we'll just get into it. All right. Number one, there's 12 total traversable areas. There's going to be 5 sectors, 5 outskirts. There's going to be the center of the map, which is the main area. And then there's also a forest area, the final area. Okay, this is kind of
cool.
Yeah, and for the record, we both of us have not read this yet. This is
actually this one I have read.
Okay.
This was the one I did read. We were talking about it off air already.
Okay.
And I was like, I haven't read what you sent to me, but I did read this one because it hit the internet a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, I might as well check it out. But
yeah. I remember I took this picture from 4chan. I found it, and I just forgot to post it in hopes that we would review it. But we got 12. So this is already kind of controversial, but it does kind of like tickle the little fan service part of my brain, right? Again,
is it?
Yeah.
Is it actually controversial though? I feel like it's not too much.
Well, I think it's controversial. It's controversial because a lot of people are assuming that there's going to be more areas outside of Lumiose City, but they very deliberately said the whole game takes place in Lumiose City. So it's like our fan expectations. This is the problem, right? Like we shouldn't be expecting things that are not promised. Yeah. And I think already this is like it sounds good. Like I'm like, that sounds great. Yeah. That sounds great. Just like Legends Arceus, there's a core area and you can travel to all these other biomes or whatever they might be. And then they also say there's another 5 outskirts, one for each of the city locations, right?
For me, it's funny that you read it that way. For me, I read it like this is all a part of Lumiose City, though. Like this is all of those are just in Lumiose City.
Yeah, but the outskirts, right?
Yeah,
but I guess it's like, how do you define an outskirt?
Yeah, part of the outskirts of the circle. That's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
So I mean, it could be either or. Who knows with what it says.
Yeah. I mean, I think that honestly could work though. I'm not like, I guess suspend the disbelief. I honestly think that is actually a little bit possible. If the like it's still Lumiose City, right? It's just not like you're in the center of town or the center of the city or whatever.
Yeah, and it will be built up
into
different things. I mean, cities have like forest areas.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
parks.
No, that
But
makes sense. Like outside of
yeah.
like I'm imagining, yeah, there's parts of Boston that are like a little bit outside of the city, and it'll be
Mhm.
like a trail, or it'll be like, a bike path or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes
Exactly.
sense. What about this
Hmm.
forest area? You know,
Yeah, it's weird that it's the final area, you know?
I mean,
It's like what?
my mind goes to like a final showdown with or against Zygarde, depending on whatever the plot's gonna be.
Right. I think the way that they're setting it up is just like the center of the map is where you start
Yeah,
because that's the main area, and then the end of the game will actually be in the outskirts, like outer ring of the area, which
yeah,
is the final forest area. I don't know. That's just what my mind is getting from this.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's actually
Well,
what they meant.
the next section, let's read this. It says waterways, sewer system, sky deck areas, all accessible within each sector. All right, I thought that was I thought I was about to read a description of each of the locations, but what that
Hmm.
actually is basically it's saying um, there's a verticality to all of these
Hmm.
locations where you can go, or maybe not. I guess the sewer system makes me think of underground.
Right.
Waterways is what?
Just kind of
Waterways is just
similar.
where you
I guess.
are,
No, maybe like the rivers. Yeah, yeah, where you are,
or
like
there is
the
a
little
water
canals.
section in each section for
Hmm.
water Pokemon.
Most cities are on a river. I know
Yeah,
Paris is.
yeah,
So, like there's probably little canals throughout the city and the main river as well. So
yeah,
that's the same kind of vibe I'm sure that they will put in this. Even though in Lumiose City that we've already been to, it wasn't like that.
yeah.
But because that's going to be completely different no matter what than
So
that Lumiose.
I've never thought of this, but the sky deck, it says right here, that actually is a great way to introduce or almost like emulate the kind of, what are they called, like the sky
Sky
islands
battles.
in
Oh,
in
and
in
yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, right?
Hmm.
And this is great. You go up, you actually traverse the buildings, and there's bird Pokemon up there or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. Actually, you can find maybe dragons, right? There's Noivern up there.
Hmm.
Um, maybe there's like Flabebe floating in the wind.
Yeah.
That's really
This
cool.
this does already like it seems like a lot, like too much,
Yeah.
like for credibility wise. I'm like, it's a little bit, it's a
You
little
you,
too
you
much
so,
for
so
me.
you don't think that could happen?
I think it might happen, but maybe not in this specific, like,
Yeah.
waterways, sewer system,
Yeah.
sky deck. Like there's very specific words. You know, maybe there's three different like ways to
Yeah.
travel. That
I
could be possible.
I think one of my
But I don't know
favorite
if it's
things
so.
about Legends Arceus was how dynamic all of the biomes were.
Hmm.
And we definitely got like levels of verticality to like in Paldea. I think they did a great job in Blueberry Academy in the dome.
Hmm.
I'm stealing that from Steve in the dome, but
In the dome.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. I guess if this get right, because if this is a Legend style game, and if it's anything similar to Legends Arceus,
which it should be.
which it
I'm
should be,
imagining. Yes. Yeah.
I think this is totally possible, right? Like I imagine our
Yeah.
climb Pokemon could climb buildings, right?
Hmm. Yeah, but you got to think about remember Legends Arceus and be like, they tried, but there wasn't so much going on in the
Sure.
maps. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
I know, even
the
like the towns, like the little like
oh,
villages or
yeah,
the
those hurt my
camps.
soul.
I wish there was so
Hmm.
much more to them.
They like those people live there,
I
and
know.
it doesn't feel like people
Anyone's
could
living there.
live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the same exact little tent, and
Yeah.
it's their whole plans, and they're like the people that are supposed to live in Sinnoh, like the old
Yeah.
Sinnoh. Like I
You know
don't know,
you
it's
know
a
how
little too.
like lively what is it? Cianwood felt in Johto?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like do you remember like Heart Gold Soul Silver where like
Hmm. Hmm.
there's
Yeah,
like
for sure.
there's not a Pokemart, it's like a little, it's like a little, it's like a little shop, right? And there's
Yeah,
those, it's like a fishing village. See, there's like fishing props all over the place, and I
right.
don't know, just going into the different houses, like even though there's really nothing to do there, it still felt like people lived there.
Yeah,
Um
this did
anyway,
not feel like
yeah,
that.
we're kind of
Which
getting off
I
track.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, I think that Legends ZA will be more fleshed out like that though.
I think
Like
so.
it'll feel better.
Yeah.
And then you can continue.
All right. So it says Pokemon are everywhere. Most are found in outskirts, but more species populate within sectors once construction is complete. This is cool. Once construction is complete. So I think the popular fan theory, or at least what I'm hoping we do, is that the Pokemon Legends Pokemon Legends ZA will expand on the crafting mechanic and also the whole system that was already in Legends Arceus, where you talk to townsmember and you do these like tasks, these missions for them, and slowly but surely the town gets kind of build up, right? At the end of the day, it's still just a little town, where I think what we're gonna see is that like Lumio City becomes industrialized.
Right. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. I was gonna say this at the end of this, but since I've read this,
I haven't read it.
Yeah, it's a very believable one. That's what I have to say. I mean, I can say more at the end, but like it's also very like this is what we expect kind of.
Okay. I mean, I'm liking it. Yeah, it seems tame. It seems believable.
Mm-hmm.
I like this so far, and it does make sense that like as you progress through the game, right? If the whole so in a typical Pokemon game, you go town to town, and every route that you go to you'll find and unlock new Pokemon. And if the whole game takes place in Lumio City and you have access, right? If it's an open world game and you have access to the full city, how do you gatekeep those older or more stronger Pokemon? And I think this works where it's like a level system. The further you progress in the game and the more you build up the city, it just would make sense that like new Pokemon would show up. It makes me think of I'm thinking about the Pokeblocks in the Hoenn region in the Safari Zone. It's like you're interacting with the environment to like attract Pokemon to wherever you are. I guess they've done that with a lot of different things, like the honey trees in Sinnoh. But I was just thinking of that. All right, let's move on. Main goal is to complete the construction of Lumio City. All right, there it is right there. Each sector has a boss Pokemon who will try to prevent the construction. This is just the, what were they called in Legends Arceus?
Nobles.
Yeah, the noble Pokemon. Yeah. Right? You can,
Which I think that this is going to follow that. Like, that's what I mean by, like, this is very believable, because unless they changed up all the formula, it's possible that Game Freak does that, but I think they will stick to the same formula, and this is basically that. You go to the next section, and then there's a boss, and you beat the boss, and you get that section kind of thing. So, yeah.
It feels like a part of Legends Arceus' identity, right? Mm-hmm, that was something that like that's kind of what makes it an action game in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely hope that stays. It says you need to gather resources from outskirts and obtain a specific amount of Pokemon to advance. Okay, so that's the Pokedex thing. It's not just it's not just like doing side quests for characters. It's actually like you do need to keep collecting Pokemon, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It says that the boss Pokemon. Were you gonna say something?
No, I agree. I mean, I think the only thing is like why, but yeah.
Sure, yeah. Like in Legends Arceus was because actually I don't even know what the plot was. What Arceus just wanted you to like master, like
you
Pokemon.
Had to, like, well, there was two reasons, because there was Arceus that wanted it, but also
Lavington.
Like, Lavington was like, we're trying to survey the whole area.
Sure.
So that I don't know if that could be the reason.
I love that game so much.
Survey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I scrolled down and lost my place.
Boss Pokemon.
Yeah, boss Pokemon see you as a threat and do not want the city built. This is it. This is what I've been saying since the first trailer.
I like that.
I love that so much. I think that makes sense. It's like it's so obvious. We'd be like, "Oh, Zygarde's our friend. We're gonna be on Zygarde's side." But I'm like, I don't think so. I think if Zygarde is a defender of the environment, it's industrialization. I pronounced that word wrong. It's industrialization versus the environment. So if we're helping society, even if it seems beneficial to Pokemon and it seems beneficial to the humans, yeah, right. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I really think we're going to be a threat to Zygarde. Like, I think halfway through we're going to realize, oh, this isn't actually a good thing that we're doing this, right? And we're going to be conflicted. which is that's actually interesting. I don't know. That's really cool. I like that because it's kind of a gray area. Anyways, I love that so much. During this time, Pokemon and humans did not coexist yet. Part of the game's story involves earning the boss's Pokemon's trust to advance development. Yeah.
So it's like they come together.
Sure.
I love that he says this beautiful storyline. So it's like basically you beat the Pokemon. Yeah, yeah, right. You beat the Pokemon that are like resisting you from like building on their land and taking over this stuff, their homes. But instead you like convince them that you can coexist and it's a beautiful storyline.
It's a beautiful
I don't know if they'll go this route really, but
yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like if like befriending Pokemon is a core identity to what the games are, right? Absolutely. It's like you befriend them or collect them essentially. So that makes sense. Like you just you win them over on your side.
It's also a huge theory with Legends ZA that started from the beginning, which is in Legends Arceus, the Pokemon are like the savage attacking humans kind of thing. And in this game, it's going to be the reverse where humans are like destroying Pokemon's homes.
That's so
and
cool.
Life and everything.
Like the fact that we're getting another one of these games. Like where would the next game be? It just makes like I'm just like Alola. It's got to be Alola.
Yeah, hopefully in Ultra Space. That's where I want it to be.
Yeah, Legends. Yeah, it's the timeline where
Legends Ultra.
What is it? Where not Necrozma, but the Guzzlord. It's the timeline where Guzzlord just eats everything.
Yes, that's what we need.
All right, so Pokemon start to appear in the city once the trust is earned. Beautiful storyline. The leader of the development does not like Pokemon. Clashes often with a leader from another organization that is trying to bridge the gap between Pokemon and people. This is where you obtain the Pokedex and tasks involving Pokemon, catching, photographing, and battling. Yeah, what did I say? Photographing.
That's what it. That's what
photograph. It just says photographing. I think I pronounced it wrong.
When you said it, I was like, wait, I'm confused, but also it makes sense.
Again, I think this just is lining up with. I think they heard us on the podcast like 4 months ago, and then they're just repeating us.
Bro,
this is literally what we said on the podcast. I don't know if it's like pop. Maybe it's. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Sometimes.
But this makes sense, right? If the leader is clashing with Pokemon, like that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. This is more of what we were just talking about, basically. Yeah. The leader specifically will be
all right,
basically a bad guy. So
here's the juicy stuff, all right? Mega Evolution. Yeah. We need I literally want to get a soundboard. So like anytime Mega Evolution happens, we can hear the like the in-game.
Well, your mic didn't even pick up.
Oh, did it not?
Just did. But it's funny anyway. It's like and then it just vanishes.
Like I gotta get a soundboard.
What does the sound like?
It's just like it's a transformation, whatever the transformation noise is. I picked it up on my end. The audience heard it.
Okay.
They're like clapping right now. They're like, oh, that was really good. So Mega Evolution is available about a third of the way through the story, but you have a stone from the beginning that comes with your chosen starter.
Like I said, so believable. Like that's totally something.
It's kind of like a really lukewarm. Like this is a lukewarm post. I'm into it.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're gonna talk about. Actually, I'm trying to see if they even mention the starters. I'm looking ahead.
Well, I think that
they don't mention the starters. So we're assuming it's Fennekin, Froakie, and Chespin.
I don't know. They don't say. But I think they are.
What do you think?
I think they're pushing that your starter will mega evolve. That's all I think. Because it's like you have the stone from your starter from the beginning.
It's got to be the base ones.
Okay, so
it's got to be the base ones.
It doesn't say so.
The thing that confuses me though, like lore-wise, if
it's in the past,
if it's in the past, then it's like, why does it not exist in the future? But I guess it could just be that like they just weren't like they can't find the stones or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a million ways they can explain it away.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like.
And then in the future, it is also good because then in the future they can be like, oh, we found the stones now. Then you can mega evolve them whenever you want in the future.
Yeah. I don't know.
If it's said in the past.
I really think we're gonna get a new set of starters, and then because here's
I
the
do
other.
too.
Yeah, because then they can make the starter. Like that's what they gotta do.
It's not even a question to me.
They gotta do it. Yeah.
It's too boring the other way.
And you know what this is? Because these rumors are sometimes right, but this one is probably but it's probabilistic. Like
Probable.
Yeah, it's probable and probably, which is the same etymology. So it is probably fake, and they're covering their butts by not naming what the starters is, because that's actually the hardest thing in the world.
100%.
I guess
100%. That's the thing with this entire post. I was gonna say at the end, but the whole thing is like you can guess this, and there's no details that are like
you have to commit to something.
Yeah, there's nothing that is.
You got to be like,
wow, okay.
Nummel's getting a grass type regional form. You have to say that. And it's going to be wrong, but at least I'll believe you a little bit.
When you continue on,
Cowards.
It's like, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, so we're going to get, all right, so Mega Evolutions for, So we're going to get we're just taking taking the listeners through this. You're going to get a set of new starter Pokemon from various other regions. And they will, and they'll get to their final forms and then Mega Evolve, and that's going to be their new form probably. All right, so all previous Megas return with 14 new Megas. Wow,
14 new is a good number.
That seems
previous,
good.
All previous ones returning is a big deal too, because we
There's
don't know
30?
all of them. We don't, 30 something, 32, 36, something like that. We don't know if they will all return, because we have like Mega Rayquaza, we have the Latis, mostly legendary ones. Like, are they gonna get their Megas come back? You know what I mean? So there's a few that are like, this doesn't make sense for it to get a Mega. Like Mewtwo. Mewtwo doesn't really make sense.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel
if it's set in the past, like Mewtwo doesn't exist yet. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. No, but you know what? Here's what they probably could do. They could do the space-time distortion thing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, there's ways, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, it's up in the air if all of them are returning. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it's still not confirmed. Just all we got is a Mega symbol. We could get only new Megas. We might not even get the old ones, which I highly doubt. I highly doubt.
It's like they have all these great designs. They got to feature them in some way. Do you think their counterparts could get Megas? Like, honestly, I'm just thinking about this now. Who's to say Cleavor doesn't get a Mega?
I mean, I want Cleavor to get a Mega.
Wouldn't that be epic?
It makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, what about
Yeah, I said it before on the pod. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's also a Legends Arceus Pokemon too. So
yeah, exactly.
Slowking. Yeah, a lot of people think Slowking too. A lot of people think
Butterfree, Mega Butterfree. You know,
you got Gigantamax.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the same.
I think that was like it's like, oh, Beedrill got a Mega, so let's give Butterfree a Gigantamax.
Yeah, they're not really counterparts anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, Manectric got a Mega. Is Boltund gonna get a Mega?
Is that its counterpart?
No. It's just another electric dog.
I'm trying to. It does have a counterpart though, doesn't it?
I think it's Manectric? No, it doesn't. It's available in every game.
Yeah.
Maybe it might have a counterpart in like newer games.
I think what I'm thinking about is that it's a version exclusive, and there's another version exclusive that's opposite.
It's not in Hoenn. Like in the Hoenn games, it's not a version exclusive. But it does feel.
You're right.
I do think it does feel opposite to Mega Houndoom because they're both dogs. But that's a little side tangent. 14 new. Okay, just tell me this, man. What new Pokemon do you want to see get a Mega? 14 new Megas. I know it's broad, but
I can't just be like 14 new ones. I don't know. I think 14 is a kind of a big number. I don't know. Yeah. These numbers seem realistic in this post, which is crazy to me. But
they did their homework.
I really want Escavalier, Cleavor. Yeah, I mean,
what would Escavalier turn into?
I don't know, just more like jousting kind of vibes.
Yeah,
because it's already like French medieval.
That's a really good point. Yeah, like I mean, would it get like?
It's the Cavalry Pokemon, so
I guess it's a Mega. It's not like a different.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not an evolution.
it doesn't change it. It makes it more of what it is.
Yeah, it'll be maybe.
I think this guy's
longer.
got one of the highest chances to get a mega because it just fits so well.
Yeah.
If they don't, it's a missed
Oh,
opportunity.
dude, honestly, this is such a cool Pokemon. I
I'm
use
in love
this.
with it.
Yeah.
Lately I've been like really big on Escavalier. I don't know why, but
We should do like a bug. Yesterday I was thinking about a bug deep dive. I was like, that'd be fun.
I mean, I'd just be fangirling the whole time.
I was watching a video. I was watching this food YouTuber, and he was talking about like why we don't eat bugs because they're so related to crustaceans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he went into the science of it, and I was like, we should do a bug deep dive. Because then okay, come on, guys,
eating bugs.
Listen, because that means Krabby should be a bug type.
Yeah,
it's not even crazy.
There's arguments for that for sure.
Right, like I get the water type, but make it bug water. Why not? Right, Surskit needs some friends. Yeah, Escavalier is a really good one. What would I
can't think of 14, not off the top of my head. It's like impossible.
No, I know. But like French Pokemon, list of that's just French Pokemon names.
Other French Pokemon is Empoleon, obviously.
Yeah, but that's French.
Even kind of Seviper too, which those are two that we
Seviper?
think of. Or no, Superior, sorry.
Sure, but those are starters.
Yeah, but we think of them instantly for the starters as well.
Dude. All right.
So.
Masuda spoke of his love for France and the reason why the Kalos region. All right.
Going on that bunny trail of Masuda's interviews. I mean anything medieval can go to France.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
especially with Paldea's
Aegislash.
Spanish is different.
Aegislash would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like it would just be more swords essentially. I don't even know if I would like it, but
I think it's very likely as well. It was in the trailer and everything.
That's true.
Most of the French Pokemon are Kalos Pokemon.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know, like Aromatisse.
Mega Gudra, Mega Dragonite. Anyways.
Aromatisse is definitely a French option.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what Pokemon you really want to see get a Mega. I mean,
yeah,
it's happening. We just don't know how many. Oh, dude. And the rollout's going to be so much fun because like when they actually start revealing stuff, because like during Gen 6, it was like every month in Korokoro, there were like there was like a brand new Mega, 2 new Megas. I remember when like Mega Lopunny and Mega Salamence were released, I was freaking out. I was like on a job site. I was so excited. It's always
maybe
like...
I'm like, no, I'm not changing. I'm kind of changing it, but the topic a little bit. But I'm just like, maybe I'm hoping too much. But I feel like what this post gives us is a very realistic number of new Pokemon Megas that we would get.
Yeah.
You know, different things. But I'm feeling like in my gut that there will be more than what we're expecting. Like that's, and I don't know anything about it at all.
I mean,
but I just feel like it.
Considering
I feel like we're gonna get like 20 something Megas and then like 5 to 7, maybe that's too many, like 5 new evolutions or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or
I don't think we're getting new
regional forms.
I could see us getting new evolutions to the starters. I don't really see us getting just straight up evolutions. I think this is the game for, well, I don't know, Legends Arceus did it, right?
I know, but
I think it comes down
to
it comes down to the creators and whether or not they see a Mega evolution as an evolution, because
that's really the
for
thing.
fans,
because it does feel like it.
Yeah, I mean they are evolutions. It's a it's a temporary fourth evolution. I just think for fans, once we move past Legends ZA, will we have access to those in Gen 10? Will we have like when is it going to be?
I think guaranteed, but yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'll just be disappointed if all we get are Megas, and I think most people will.
No, I'm with you. I could see them. Well, I guess if that is what's going to happen, and we kind of lose access to Megas, it actually would make sense for them to be like, what you're saying, just give us they'll give us 20 new ones. Like, let's make a big deal about this, right?
I mean, if it's only Megas, I'm expecting like 30.
That's
30
cool.
Something.
And here's another thing.
Because even Legends Arceus
we're in a gap year, right?
That much.
Like likely we're not getting a game this year, which means they should have additional resources for that for that next game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we say it's a gap year, but
it is technically,
but we probably will get it in the first. I don't know. That's a whole different conversation. Let's keep moving.
True.
So this says all megas return with 14 new, 3 regional variants of previous Pokemon, and to me, no, 3 regional variants, not regional evolutions. I was gonna say those would be the starters, but what do you think about that?
I kind of like a return to regional forms because like we haven't really. I mean, we had Tauros and Wooper, and that's not much, you know. So it'd be nice.
Tell me this. What if, I don't think anyone has really thought about this. What if they give us regional forms for the starters, which then evolve and get, like, everything's new, right? And we
evolve.
So, like,
how do you mean?
So, okay, so Wooper is what is it, like a Paldean Wooper, and when it evolves, it doesn't evolve into Paldean Quagsire. It evolves into Clodsire. So what if we get, of whatever this is called, Colosian Snivy, and instead of then evolving into Superior, it's something completely different?
That would make more sense for evolutions, I think, because it is different than just a regular evolution.
Yeah. It's not a branched evolution.
It's a regional evolution.
Yeah.
It's a regional evolution, which that actually is a good point because it makes it feel different. It's not like that could be a mega.
It's kind of the same identity as what we had with PLA, but it's a whole different thing, right? I think when we were talking to Lumi, I remember Lumi made a point about like them needing to do something for the shock, right? To be like, this is brand new, and this would be brand new. I don't know about
brand new. They did do
well, they've never done it with starters, is my point, right?
True.
I think that's what that's.
I don't know if they do it with starters.
And here's the thing: they're basically type swaps, right? If the base Pokemon is a regional form, you have to assume that it's a type swap. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
no. It didn't. Most of the time, it is.
Like if we get a Colosian Torchic, whatever. Maybe it's fire flying. It could keep that base fire type, but maybe it's a grass type. I don't know.
I'm thinking about how they would do it. This is how I think they would do it. No, maybe not.
Say it. Just think out loud.
No, it's just I'm not an external processor, but
I am.
I was just thinking like that they would basically, I don't know when they would start making them regional forms because like you want them to be the normal starters. So like let's
they're recognizable and they're still giving
yeah. So let's say it's Snivy, Piplup, and Litten, which is what I think it's gonna be.
But maybe their mid stages are maybe it's
that's exactly what I was thinking.
So
Snivy, I was like, so then their mid stages change.
So Snivy, base Snivy, grass type Snivy from the Unova region evolves in Kalos to become a regional Servine, and Servine is what? Maybe it's grass electric. I don't know, grass dragon,
steel.
And then it evolves to grass steel, and then it evolves to not be superior, but it evolves into, I don't know, Staburier, and it's a sword. It's got a sword tail. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's what we.
That's cool. I like that. I do like that.
If they want to do shock value, that would be awesome.
That's shocking.
But I think that the more likely thing to happen, if they went this route, would not be regional forms for the starters. It would just be megas. Okay. So they would be random starters, not the Kalos starters, but then they would get megas. So like a superior, that's a mega. I think that's the most likely. With that, I'm not saying that regional forms won't happen. Yeah. I'm just saying with the starters specifically, it might be they're part of the megas group.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But then again, to me, I'm like, I don't know.
Shock you, know? That's the shock you would be awesome if they got freaking evolutions. Yeah. I would love that. I would. Yeah. I would freaking go nuts. I would really. I'd be so happy.
All right. All right. Yeah. So
keep going.
So we got 14 new megas, 3 new regional variants of previous Pokemon. Then we have a cafe, street, skydeck, and waterside battles for trainers. Oh, so this was something I was gonna say earlier, right? In the Kalos region in X and Y, they had the sky battles, which were, I think, a little underbaked. They could have been a little bit more interesting. There was really no purpose. That would have been a cool feature in like Four Tree City in the Hoenn region, right? If like you had to fight Winona with only sky Pokemon in a sky battle, like that thematically makes sense. That's like something out of the anime. So they're saying there's cafe battles, street battles, sky deck battles, and waterside battles. I don't know if these are all real. What makes a cafe battle a cafe battle? It's got to be a fairy Pokemon for food. Like, what's a street battle? Your Pokemon can have a knife. Like, what is what does this mean? Right?
Oh my gosh.
Is this Power
Street
World?
battle.
Street rules. Are they playing basketball? Like, I don't know what street battle means.
I guess it's in the street. I mean, that's
so
like a city.
Yeah,
you know?
But a sky deck, that's cool because that means you can, and that's what I was imagining. You
should
battle
scroll down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
can't see it.
It's a little tough to scroll because of the layout.
The people can't see it. Though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good call.
But
then I don't know. I'm not too hung up on it. Like, we'll see.
It's not.
But it's an interesting concept.
Crazy. It's just like you're gonna have battles, you know.
Yeah.
Wherever they are, is a different setting. Yeah, it's not that big of a.
No, but what I'm saying is like the different setting limits what Pokemon you can use. Right.
True.
That's the part that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a cool way to make your team need to be a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah, and interesting in general. The whole game, it makes the whole game more interesting.
Yeah, you can't just like, you know, I don't know. I think that's cool. Or maybe make it even cooler and make these like terrains, right? Like we have the terrain, the terrain moves introduced with the Tapus, like grassy surge, right? And now you have a grassy terrain. What if in the street terrain, Pokemon, like, I don't know, like normal and ground type Pokemon get like a boost or something, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Water side, obviously, water Pokemon. So I don't know. There's something that cool that they could do with that. And then it says there's a final area that is massive. It's called the forest.
It's just the forest.
Very fairy tale like atmosphere. And again, I do think there could be another area. I think the final showdown with Zygarde is either going to be in another area like this where you meet Zygarde, or Zygarde functions kind of, so he'll be in his 100% form and he'll function and visibly look like a kaiju, right? Or a transformer in a city, right? It's going to be just this like massive thing, like basically wanting to destroy the city. And what's interesting there is that you see when you think of those like kaiju movies, like they're like evil and need to be stopped. But in reality, like
he just wants to save.
He wants to save humanity. You know. So
yeah.
But
I think that's what they were getting at with this. They're like the forest is the last spot, and this is the one thing that makes me feel like, wow, could this be real? Because it's so like what we expect that it makes you think like maybe it's real.
Yeah.
Just because it would make tons of sense for you have to go fight Zygarde. You're not going to fight him in the middle of the city. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not going to fight him in the middle of the city.
So this is Terminus Cave in the anime. This is where you would find Zygarde. Kind of cool. Not a forest, but kind of cool. This is
also different.
This is
all that.
Terminus Cave this is also in the anime. What is this in Journeys?
He like floats up. No, it's in like it's a special mega like a special. Okay. You know what I mean? Like a not part of anything really, just like mega special.
This is cool though, because like what this could be is that in the forest there's a hole where Zygarde comes out of the tunnel.
It is a ground type, so it should be underground. So
yeah, but like what if it's underground in that green, like, right, in something like this?
I just don't know. This is what we need Lumi for. I don't know how far Terminus Cave is from Lumiose.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think it was up here.
He would be like, it's right there.
No, it's pretty far.
It's so far.
It's so far. He's like
so far.
Right now. Yeah, that's so far.
So it could just be a different situation, or he could just like tunnel all the way to Lumiose and just pop up out the ground.
Yeah. Like I mean, yeah. What I wonder what this and this is. We need Lumi. We'll do this again later. Sure. But, anyways, so I guess this is really this post is really not that descriptive. I do think the idea of a final area being outside of Lumio City is thematic and makes it a little bit more special.
Yeah.
So it says, okay, so I said that there's going to be new legendaries in the intro, but it says there's no new legendaries, but there's new forms instead. Sort of like a mega mechanic or a mega evolution mechanic, but without the stone and different and more dramatic form change effect. Again, they didn't really tell us what this would look like. My bets would be on, I mean, there's really hardly any legendary Pokemon in X and Y, so this is, the candidates are Xerneas and Yveltal, the box legendaries. Mm-hmm. Maybe Zygarde as well. Getting new form changes is cool. And we saw this also with Mega Rayquaza. Rayquaza doesn't need a stone to Mega Evolve, right?
Right. I mean, we also saw this with the Origin, Dialga, and Palkia.
Yeah.
I think that's literally what this is. Like, I wish they said, like, it's a named form, like they named the form. Like, Origin, Xerneas, you know. Obviously, they wouldn't say Origin, and Origin would be not used here because they already did it last time.
I think
make up something, but
Zygarde has its forms are like percentage forms, which makes sense with Zygarde being made up of a bunch of like crystals or whatever, not crystals, cores and cells.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've seen a lot of really cool fan art depicting Xerneas and Yveltal in their like quote unquote 100% form. This is just a picture of Dialga. I was trying to pull up its origin form. But that is interesting. And honestly, I think listen, when we got origin form Dialga and Palkia, these are designs that I'm like, that feel like Ultra Beast. Like, I'm like, this is not anything I think anyone could have expected. And these are offensive designs. They don't make sense to our brains, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that they would go that route again. I think the reason, I hope that they do, I think that there should be a place for Pokemon to be like this. Like, there should be Pokemon that are like this, like Necrozma, like Eternatus, like them. But I think that they definitely went that route with Origin, Dialga, and Palkia because they're supposed to be like godlike. They're supposed to be like an imitation of Arceus, and it's supposed to be just like really freaky kind of thing. It doesn't. I don't think it has anything to do with the Ultra Beast. It just has to do with that fact. So I don't think that Xerneas and Yveltal would be like that. This would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to
These things
show
are cool.
The artists.
Even though I really don't care for Perfect Zygarde that much, so like the base body is still like not doing it for me. But I like the concept a whole lot.
So this is basically like the idea here for listeners is Zygarde is made of a bunch of Zygarde cells, and what this is like it basically Zygarde absorbs the energy and the body of either Xerneas or Yveltal, which is so cool because you get this type of legendary fusion similar to like Necrozma, where Necrozma is the parasite on Solgaleo or Lunala, and you get these like new forms essentially. And right, like in the story of X and Y, we see Team Flare using these legendary Pokemon as like weapons. So Zygarde has taken both of their bodies, either Yveltal or Xerneas, and turned them into like cannon arms, which is so sick.
It's actually more of their like cocoon forms. I don't know what to call it.
Sure, yeah. That's well in their cocoon form is when they were like being harvested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Xerneas is the tree. You can see the tree, and then you can see Yveltal is the cocoon thing.
I
but
love
it also
this.
does have things from them, like their legs are the he has like
the talons,
flowy thing from Xerneas's.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yveltal's.
Yeah. Yveltal's like
mane.
Hair.
Yeah.
So cool. Like I love this artist so much. I've been a huge fan. We've used this art in some of our thumbnails before. How do you pronounce their name? Do you know?
Redoli.
I'm assuming it's
Redolui
with the double E or the double L.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So good. So good.
I do not speak French.
I'll put a link in the description for this art. This is so cool. But to get back to this rumor, you guys can't see it right here, but the last line is
the last one.
Actually, we already read it. The last
Yeah, that
line
was
is
the
that there's
last
no new legendary. We only get new forms. I think the new forms is possible. I'm looking forward to it.
I definitely think that they could get new forms, but I think that there will be a new legendary.
Yeah.
I
What
think
would the
that
new legendary
A
be? The
legendary.
pink?
I
It'd
think
be the pink thing?
yeah, maybe it's pink. I think it's the A legendary.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But who knows? It
Yeah.
does seem kind of obvious, but it's not confirmed or anything. We don't know anything about it. But the
Yeah.
A legendary seem possible.
That makes
And yeah,
sense.
the whole pink logo is interesting.
Yeah.
The pink could mean nothing as well.
Sure.
Because the Legends Arceus was blue. Like Pokemon was blue. Words.
Yeah. I wonder if... Because again, if it's Legends ZA, I don't know. I'm just trying to... This is a big brain idea. Zygarde is made up of cells, and cells grow based on whatever like the DNA tells it to grow. Like the DNA is like the instructions for how like our cells should, turn into whatever. I wonder if there's some sort of, and right, Mega Evolution is all about like in the symbol of Mega Evolution, right? There's like, there was symbol that you can like, it looks like DNA, right? So what if the DNA or the instructions of the Zygarde cells are told to be like to kind of turn into something else? And so even though we have 100% Zygarde form, and we've seen Zygarde at all these different stages in its final form, similar to Mega Evolution, is the 100% form. What if there's a different pathway, the DNA, right? A different formation the DNA can take. And so instead of getting the doggo form and the snake and the transformer, I don't know, what if it just goes a different route, right? That'd be really cool. And that would, and again...
No, I totally agree, actually. I think that the most likely scenario for the A legendary is to either be a brand new Pokemon, to not exist, which is less likely, or the third option, and a very likely one, in my opinion, is to be another Zygarde, like a different Zygarde, but Zygarde. Like
and that's another...
They already did that kind of in the anime.
Yeah, and that's like another thing that we see in, tons of media where there's like a dark version of yourself, right? Or some sort of clone, right? I think of Ocarina of Time where you're like facing yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that could be something that's, honestly, I never thought about this before, but I'm proud of that theory. I think that's pretty cool. I think that could be pretty cool to see. Oh, does that happen in Twilight Princess too?
Yeah, he shows up.
Nice.
You don't fight him. I think you fight him in Majora's Mask, actually, but that's a whole nother link.
Sure.
Lots of Zelda connections.
There's always Zelda connections, but dude, any final thoughts? I thought that was a pretty interesting rumor to take a look at.
To wrap up that rumor, like, is it fake
or
real?
That's what we should do. Like when we review these, like, what's our ranking?
Yeah.
I think it should be like,
I'm just saying I think the name of it is. Can you pull it up for one more second just to see the name, the title of it? No big spoilers.
No big spoilers.
Yeah. So like the whole thing is actually super spoilery. If you were to read this is like the whole game. It's actually very big spoilers. It's just that there's nothing new outside of like people's ideas already, like that have been all over the internet since February.
Yeah.
So it's like that's like the thing that's killing it the most is that anybody could write this and be like, oh yeah, this is something that's happening. And then the lack of like specific details like that they should know, like where it's, which Pokemon are getting that, or like where is the place and what's the name of it, like different little details that you should know with all of this information. If you had this much information, you'd know more. So that's what kills it like instantly for me. It is a little tricky though. Some people might believe it because
that's a really good point because like when I'm thinking of like the Ben Affleck leak from Gen 8, and it was worded similarly, but the what made it so outlandish is that things were being described that we didn't know about at the time, so they sounded stupid. But as soon as they slowly got revealed, everything just like a checklist.
Yep.
We were like, oh, of course that's the most obscure way to describe this super detailed thing. You know?
I mean, Gigantamax is like the number one thing from that.
Yeah.
From that Ben Affleck.
No, but there was
leak,
also like the Meowth form, and there was a bunch of stuff.
Where you're like,
The
you have to, if you're making
far-fetched-
one of these fake leaks like this, you have to add something that's like
Yeah, you can't be
something
a
we've
coward.
never heard of before.
Yeah, you
something
gotta-
we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Why
Yeah.
would that? That's dumb. Like, they get really big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When people saw that, they were like, "What do you mean? They get really big?" Like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but so yeah, what's our ranking?
I think it's fake.
Yeah, I think it's fake.
Yeah, just a big fake stamp on it.
Yeah, we should
But
create
good effort.
very good effort. I mean,
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if these are friends of ours.
Oh, sometimes
who
they
also
are.
make YouTube videos. I wonder.
Mhm.
All right. Thanks for watching. We do have actually. Let me show you this. We do have some brand new merch that we'd love.
Oh, heck yeah.
We just launched this. Super proud. This is all designed by our friend and supporter Noivi. He's a tattoo artist, just an artist in general. He's actually got like hundreds of thousands of like followers on TikTok. Did you know that?
Nice. No, I didn't know that.
His
I don't even
videos,
follow him.
his videos pop off. But
I didn't even know he was a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It looks like that.
Yeah,
It's
he's
a
really
vibe.
great at these, like, I don't know, but he even customized, I don't know, everything about this is custom. It's called Hidden Legacy. It's just a big celebration of the last year. This is kind of like a shirt for the summer. That was the vibe that we were thinking about when we created these. There'll be a link in the description, but you can see it comes in a couple different colors, but you can see there's Ultra Necrozma, there's the Hydrapple, Ledian. Actually, there's a lot of Pokemon here that are really just in fan service of Lumia and Soul. Mostly
No, you got
Soul.
Cherubi's down at the bottom.
I got Cherubi and a Spathra.
And yeah, I do feel special about like Noivi definitely. He likes
yeah.
it, so that's,
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
You got a Spathra too.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
But honestly, I already ordered mine. It's in the mail. It's
Nice.
headed here. If you want to support us, you can buy a shirt. If you want to support us and get a discount on the merch, you can become a supporter on Patreon or YouTube channel members. There's a ton of other perks, but one of the perks is also discounted merch. So go get yourself a t-shirt. We love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think about this rumor, if you think it's real or fake. And as always, we don't have an outro. Good to see you. Bye.
So good, actually.
See ya.